Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. I need to figure that out. I always mute myself. I have no idea why I do it. Technology. Welcome to another edition of Inside the Walls podcast. I am Jim Mernier, and we got a big evening set in stone for you tonight as we go in depth with the Dallas Bulls. We'll see what's going on behind scenes, from ticket information to player signings to the buildup of the organization, where they're playing, how everything is being set up. We'll see some history. We'll get the head coach on to talk about this as we get more in depth with the Dallas Bulls. But also, we have other news and notes to go over. Remember to follow anything National Arena League related at thenationalarenaleague.com. Visit up to date information, stats, and even where to go to watch some of the games as the season progresses each week as thenationalarenaleague.com. Also, for you fans who want to get merch, hit up the shop right now. Some good things are popping up. Visit NALshop.com, where every team in the NAL is represented. Get your gear now. Give for good stocking stuffers for Christmas, because I know it's early October and we got Halloween fans out there. Football season is right around the corner, especially the indoor variety. And hey, got some merch to sell, and it'd be good stocking stuffers for the kids and, of course, for you, the fans, as well. Check it out, NALshop.com. Other news and notes and related around the National Arena League. As you know, the season schedule is released. All team schedules are out. Ticket information is being open from some organizations. You can visit their websites. It's time to get involved, folks. Time to get involved. Um, Indoor football is just around the corner. I know it's October. We just went through a couple of great weeks of outdoor games between the Canadian Football League, the NFL, and college. Football is a 24/7 sport, 365, and that means as fans in the National Arena League and in the indoor game itself, you just can't take an off season off without promoting the brand. Remember, NALshop.com. Follow us on all social media platforms at NAL Football on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Well, I think that's everything. So for that, ladies and gentlemen, let's go down to Dallas with a new coach with some Texas ties. We were talking behind the scenes about Texas football, Texas Tech, that is. No further ado, introducing the head coach of the Dallas Bulls, Coach Blackshear. Coach, welcome to Inside the Walls podcast, and welcome
Hey,
to the National Arena League.
appreciate it, man. Happy to be here. I'm excited, new opportunities, and just ready to get to work. It's been a whirlwind of activity thus far, and looking forward to more things to come.
Well, more things to come, and like I just mentioned earlier, uh, it's strange how I helped you with your technical issues to start the show,
Yes.
and I start the show with I just mute my mic. You were having camera issues. I decided to mute myself. Um,
Yeah, that's how it works. And the funny thing is, I was a telecom major in college, but that was a long time ago. Technology has changed a lot since 2003.
yeah, communications here for at Florida State
Yeah,
University.
yeah,
And I'm like, and I just look back and go, man, it's been 2 decades since I've been in college. Like, holy crap!
yeah,
And you see how the advancement is. Yeah, it's crazy.
yeah,
But
absolutely.
coach, you have a journey, especially we talk behind the scenes about your connections with the city or with the state itself. You recently came
Mhm.
back to the region, especially get ready for the Dallas Bowl season. You were announced the head coach here a couple of weeks ago on the social media platforms for the Dallas Bulls. Um,
Mhm.
Tell everybody about your journey to the Dallas Bulls.
Well, man, it's been a long journey. I grew up in Houston, Texas. Graduated high school in the '87, and I went to Texas Tech University. Played receiver, kickoff returner. Had a great career. Made all conference. Got an opportunity to go to the NFL. Spent time with the Miami Dolphins in '92. That following year, I was signed my first Arena League contract with the Dallas Texans. Uh, didn't play. Was on the team, but didn't play. I was there for the last 4 games. Learned a lot. Got a chance to work out with the Birmingham Barracudas in the CFL that following year, and then went back to the Arena League. I was with the Connecticut Coyotes.
Mhm.
Actually caught a train from Houston in 3 days just for a 2-day tryout. So the grind was real back then. It wasn't like it is now. You come in and you do what you got to do to make a team and I spent 7 weeks there. Didn't get a chance to play. Actually, Coach Mark Stout, and who was a arena legend, still indoor legend,
Hmm.
was one of the like intern type coaches at the time, and he looked out for me, fed me, made sure I was taken care of while I was there. Because there's 7 weeks and you're not getting paid. You can only eat when the team eats as a group. Couldn't eat any of the individual. We had a 50% off card. I couldn't go to any of those places because I wasn't on contract. So fast forward another year, they bring the team to Houston, which is my hometown. The head coach there was John Paul Young, who was a linebacker coach at Tech when I played. So I'm figuring, back in my hometown city, back in my home state, the coach knows me from college. I'm gonna make this team. I'm gonna be on this team. So went for the tryouts. I actually ran the fastest 40 I ever ran in my life. I ran a 4.39 and a 4.41. So I'm like, shoot, where's the paperwork? I'm ready to sign. They didn't sign me right away. They signed a bunch of guys I played college ball with and against at Tech. They signed Odell Beckham Sr. I always like to tell people that, and he was on the team at the time, coming from LSU. And so I come in after the first game of the season, and my agent. I'm telling them, look, I'm ready to go. What are they waiting on? They know me. He said, well, Rodney, they know who you are, but you just got to be patient. I said, no, I've been patient for 4 years. I said, the reality is now they're in my hometown. I got to go make this team. So I came in, 2-day workout, got there Sunday night when they were ready for film. And the next day we went to practice, and I walked in the locker room. I'm not much of a talker, even though I talk a lot now as a player. My actions speak. But I felt I had to say something that day. And so I walked in the locker room, and I looked around to a few guys. I said, hey, guys, I just want y'all to know I apologize now for my actions later, because when I get done today, somebody will get fired. And so I went out there and I performed. And they signed me after probably halfway through practice. Odell Beckham Sr. was one of the guys who got fired, as well as a couple other guys. And so got a chance to play in Houston for 5 seasons. Had a great career there, made All-Pro, All-Arena. Ended up leaving in free agency in 2001 with Clint Dozell, who had been my quarterback while in Houston. He went to Grand Rapids, Michigan. I had a chance to go to Arizona and Tampa and Orlando. Those were the 3 best teams in the league at the time. They all were offering me contracts. But Clint Dozell convinced me to take the trip to Grand Rapids, Michigan, because he said, hey, we got a chance to go in there. You can show them how we do things as a receiver.
Hmm.
I need you. Like, I got to have you. So, of course, you got your quarterback. You're going to take care of you. So that's where I went. And we played that whole season. I ended up tearing my ACL week 11, but we had a hell of a team, and we ended up winning the championship. So once I got that championship ring out of my system, I basically retired, went back to Texas Tech and got my degree. And I was coaching at the time. Then I was a student assistant under Mike Leach. He gave me the opportunity to go there, and while I was a student assistant there on the plane flights, on our travel of whatever, when we flew, I sat in the middle row in the window. It's Coach Art Browse, and to my right, Sonny Dykes, and all we did was talk football. Now, me and Sonny go way back because his dad was my college coach. Sonny played baseball at Tech while I played football, so we had a real good relationship, and I ended up getting a chance to coach with Coach Browse at U of H as well. Had a chance while I was coaching the Lubbock Renegades in the AF2 to leave and go coach with Sonny when he got his first OC job at Arizona. But I had quote unquote part ownership in that team, and of course that same season we folded after the season. So I learned a lesson that day. When there's opportunities to move up, take them. So I didn't. And again, I coached in the AF2 a couple 5 years. Coached with South Georgia. I coached in the Intense League and Abilene, Amarillo. I've been to coached in Syntex in the Intense Football League with Syntex Barracudas. Also coached in McAllen and the Rio Grande Valley. So I've been all over the place with the Renegade indoor game, as well as here with the Mesquite Marshals back in 2018. That was my last year coaching indoor football. But I've been, tied to the league just based on the guys I've coached that I mentor. Coach Mann, Coach Lucius Davis with the Albany Panthers back in the early 2000s, 9s and 10. And it's just, I've always been around the game. And just blessed to be in this position I'm in now.
You basically named every city in Texas that had at one point had a football team. Just say.
Part of it, somehow, some way,
It's
there's a
like
great coach.
you're mentioning leagues. I'm like, I remembered that league back in the day.
Oh yeah,
But
it's been a beautiful journey. It's been an amazing journey, and here we are now. I'm here at home, even though I'm from Houston. I've been living here in Dallas since 1995, minus my coaching and playing ventures. And so, how I got the job here, Coach Mann had been the coach. He while they were dormant last year, he took the job with the Iowa Woo. And, you know, he felt that he had some unfinished business there, felt real strongly about the Dallas Bulls because he was a part of it when they first started. And, he wanted to leave it in good hands is basically what he told me. So I just told Coach, man, I'll help you because I've helped him every year, whether I was on the staff or not. I live here in Dallas. I would come to practices and I would give him tips based on what I saw, what I did see. He would send me film. I would tell him, hey, how the game plan, certain things. And so, I've always been a part of it. I just wasn't on the staff. And, he told Dr. Hudson about me. He said, hey, Coach Blackshear is my mentor. Before you make a decision, I think you should talk to him. So, after he let Dr. Hudson know he's leaving, they had a good conversation, and he reached out to me. I was surprised, actually. I didn't know. Again, he doesn't know who I am. I'm not a guy that craves the spotlight, but I've had a pretty good career. And so once we got to talking, it was amazing that a lot of our basic principles that had nothing to do with football, what we want to do in the community here in Dallas, aligned real well. And so that had me excited because not only would I be coaching, but I'll also be trying to bring some excitement and some different things to the south side of Dallas, Texas as well.
Yeah, Brian, he dropped an intense name. Like, people don't remember the original name of a certain league, the birth of that league, the Intense League.
Oh, yeah. I'm telling you, man.
Yeah.
It was 2004, 2005, 2000.
But
Oh, it's crazy.
you mentioned a Arena Football Hall of Famer quarterback who he just didn't win. He won everywhere he played.
Exactly.
And knowing from a person who grew up in that area that I was a super fan. Well, at this time, my hometown team wasn't around. It was the team that I despise now, which is in Orlando. It was the I-4 war between, was it the
I
Storm
remember. I remember.
in Orlando. And I jumped on. I just loved the game. Like, my team, I really had a fandom of is the New York Dragons with Aaron
Oh,
Garcia.
yeah.
And I remember Dozell, random game. I remember Dozell with Grand Rapids going to New York in a pivotal game to who will be a postseason team. And Dozell drops, I think, like 6 touchdowns, and
That's what he
it wasn't
does.
even it wasn't even a competition. It was a straight BTA. No, I
Yes.
was like, well, there it goes.
Yeah. So when Clint got to Houston, he came the second year. So I was there in '96. He came in '97. And, we had a couple of guys I played with from Tech, Robert Hall and Lloyd Hill. Me and Lloyd like this. And Clint, last name was Dozell. But back then we had incentives. And so we called him Dollar Bill. We like, Dollar Bill, make me my money, get me the ball, right? So that's his nickname. And we still, to this day, when he's coaching out there at Texas A&M Commerce, and we'll go to check him out at games. And every time we show up, he see me and Lloyd, he already know we're going to give a hard time about our money. So we don't call him Dozell, we call him Dollar Bill because that's his name to us.
Dollar Bill. What?
Yeah.
Texas Commerce is now what, East Texas A&M now? Did they change the name?
Well, they changed it again. So it was East Texas State back in the day. That's also Coach Trigg was the quarterback there before Dozell and gave him his first shot in the Rental League as well. So that's another old school.
So they're the Lions, right?
Yeah, the Lions. Yes.
They've produced some UFL talent, some NAL talent over the years. There's a couple guys in the NAL that came from Commerce.
Oh, yeah.
Over the years, that is. But you have like you mentioned Dozell. I'm like, well, you basically have an interesting coaching tree behind even Dozell, because Dozell found a diamond in the rough that nobody won in Rodabaugh. And 3 years later, Rodabaugh is like a headline quarterback in the industry and became like breaking records left and right. And then Dozell just disappears off the map. You're like, where the heck did he go? And then you hear him like covering a certain game in Frisco. You're like, oh, there he is.
I was there for the original. I helped out with the original inaugural tryout when he was the head coach.
What's amazing is the indoor community, you including, and a lot of other coaches. You went through the path where everyone's dream was to play in the National Football League, but you found a landing spot in the indoor game, the NAL, or any of the leagues. But your relationships are so strong which a lot of fans don't realize. A lot of these organizations are so connected with some of these fans as all-time
Oh yeah.
favorite players from
Yes.
yesteryear, and they have no
Yes,
idea. They
indeed.
have zero realization that, well, I didn't know this guy was connected with this team or this, and it's just the connection.
Hmm.
And one thing I noticed, not you, there's other coaches. They even tell the current players in the sport, like, don't
Oh yeah.
burn your bridges because this might not be the
Everybody knows
NFL,
everybody.
but this might be your your lasting zone where you may have to come back around. You might be a head coach in this
Hmm.
industry in an indoor
Oh yeah.
game. So even though the goal is to get to the NFL, everyone wants to go to the NFL, wants to be Patrick Mahomes, but that's the few of the few
Another
in
Red
the
Raider.
elite.
Another
Yeah,
Red
another
Raider.
Red Raider. Yeah. He didn't have a good night last night, but I
Oh no,
digress.
he didn't. Yeah,
But
yeah. It's okay. I'm a 49ers fan, so he's tortured me twice in the Super Bowl.
uh, well, he's
Yeah.
a talented individual.
Yes, he
I
is.
have all the respect to him, but one thing I know, you mentioned all those names of the guys that you're associated with and the history of the Dallas Bulls and the connections of the guys. And looking how so far you made a couple player signings. But before we talk about the player signings, before we talk to the schedule, what will be
Mhm.
the identity of this version of the Dallas Bulls led by you?
Disciplined, hard-nosed football, and I say that as we're going to score. And I know it's arena football, but you know what I've learned from watching different teams in the leagues, because like I said, I still watch film. Uh, we're going to be controlled chaos. Is what I'm saying. We're going to be, we're going to be fundamentally sound. We're going to do a lot of the same things other teams do, but the difference is we're going to have different moving pieces doing various things. You're not going to be pigeonholed as a player. One of the reasons I hated college football as a coach, and I love football coaching, but as a receivers coach, when I played, we played all positions. We do what everybody was doing.
Right.
Nowadays, you play on one side of the ball, you don't move, so that the defense knows where you're going to be all the time. When I played arena football, as you say with Dozell and his system, that was the system we played in. So in 1997, 98, we had a team of 7 receivers, receiver DBs back then. Of
And
that 7,
Iron Man
5
rule.
of us, Iron Man rules, 5 of us had 50 passes caught. The other 2 came in late. One of them had 42, the other one had 46. So think about that. When you got guys playing not even the whole game as a receiver, and that's how many catches we had, because we were unselfish, we understood our role in the offense, and we knew at some point it's going to be our moment. Just be ready. And so that's kind of how I've always coached it that way. I've never changed when it comes to that. It's no secret. It's just what I'm going to do, and it's how I build my team.
Well, speaking about building your teams, you do have an upcoming tryout, so let's put the graphic up here for the fans to get. Give the fans what they need to know about the tryouts there, coach, to see if they can make your version of the Dallas Bulls.
Again, new program, new leadership when it comes to the head coach. So I know a few guys, but the reality is, come out and show me. When I got my opportunity to play in this game, guess what I had to do? I had to go out and show them, even though I had an NFL background. So to me, it doesn't matter where you came from. It doesn't matter what you can do when I see you. I got a ton of guys sending me film, and I love the film. But the reality is, I need to see you work in my system, and most coaches will tell you that. Especially then. Again, we don't have a roster full of players. We have 4 people under contract right now. We may be lucky to have about 10 by the time that thing starts, and we're going to bring in 25. 35. So we're going to need 25 more players. And so come show up, show out, listen. If you can't be coached, you can't play for me. You can't play in most leagues anyway. But a lot of times those guys, and like I said, I did a ton of workouts for the IFA league. I know it's a different platform, and half the guys wouldn't listen. And then they wonder, coach, why you not going to sign me? I said, I just told you some basic things I need to see. And you went like it's a 7-on-7 tournament, did your own thing. So the reality is, if you want to move up and even just get signed by teams, you got to be able to be coached and listen to what's asked of you in that moment.
And also, this is just not from just 1 or 2 coaches. This is the very common theme I'm hearing from coaches. Don't send coaches highlights.
No,
Try and send
game
all
time.
22s or your whole film. They want to see the good and the bad
And the bad, because it's going to show up anyway at some point.
Yeah,
100% right. It's going to show up.
And one of the coaches I talked to, he says, I want to see the all 22 because the good things he does, the great things he does, it's nice. Anyone can be, the superstar of their team, but when you get in a professional league, that pool gets smaller and a lot of competition rises.
Mm-hmm.
So to be the other 22 of the plays that you didn't do well, you need corrections. Are you coachable? That's what they want to
Yeah,
see from
that's what
the
it's
coaches I've
about.
talked to.
It's
The
100%
more
right.
the
And,
more 22 video, yeah, they want to see your lowest and your weaknesses, but also they want to see how you either perform at your best or how change. And yes,
absolutely.
so that's just a tidbit to the players out there.
Oh yeah,
All
when
20,
I
players
get,
love all 22, or coaches, I mean.
yes, we do. I mean, when I get to the point where I'm having a conversation with the player, I ask them, tell me about yourself. What are some things that you think you do well, and what are some things you think you need to work on?
Mhm.
If you can't answer that question again, you can't play with me, because if you're that great, you shouldn't even be here. You should be in the NFL or the UFL already.
Correct.
If you can't identify your own weaknesses, then that's a problem. When I played arena football, my quarterback from college, Robert Hall, also played with me. He was a receiver and a quarterback in the arena league. And what he always talked about, Robert was the realest person I knew. He said, Blackshear, the reason we're here because we got some deficiencies. The thing we got to do is we got to work on them. And that made a ton of sense. That's the reality. We're not in the NFL because we have a deficiency. Now, do you identify that and try to work on it, or do you say, oh, I'm good, I'm where I'm at, I'm fine? And I don't want guys that have that thought process. I want guys that want to get better. I mean, again, there's no guarantee you're going to go to the NFL, because the reality of leagues on this level, if you're not coming from an NFL camp, the chance of you going back to an NFL camp is pretty slim to none. Now, the chance to go up to the UFL, CFL is good, but you got to. It's a step process. It's very rare NFL scouts with all the access to everything. They're not going to miss out on your talent if you're already there. So,
But speaking of talent, we do have social media has been popping. Future or new signings of these two gentlemen. Well, you brought in four, so introduce your four guys that you just recently signed to be on this year's team.
yes, so Jacob is offensive lineman, 3-year veteran, super athletic. He played lacrosse in college. He's a tight end type. I'm learning that we're going to be using the tight end to to slow down that pass rush. Great player, smart, and very, very mature. And that's one of the things I'm looking for. Michael Banks Jr., he worked out for me last fall. Great athlete, undersized, but the kid could play receiver and DB. Again, I know it's not Iron Man rules, but the reality is, in this game, the more you can do, the greater your chances of making the team. So those are two guys that I love. Savion Turner, same thing. I think he was a practice squad guy for a team last year that moved up to that team moved up to the Arena League. He was actually a nose guard in college, super athletic, high motor guy. I'm actually looking to use him as a fullback as well as a defensive lineman. He's never played fullback before, but I think he has the athleticism to do a combination of both. DeCoven Bailey, who's a receiver I've known for years. One of my buddies from Tech that I played college football with, and he was also an NFL player, told me about him. I saw him at a few tryouts, and he is electric. He can do a lot of things. He can play receiver, DB as well. Could be a backup quarterback if need be. So I got some guys that are versatile pieces. I don't want guys to think that they're just a one position guy. Again, we're not the NFL. We're going to work on your craft and we'll get you better at what you do. But guess what? We're going to make you smart too. We're going to make you do things you're not comfortable doing, and that's how you get better.
One thing I noticed there, Coach, is covering the sport over the years. A lot of the players who go in the NAL or go in any other leagues, they think it's like a full 40-man roster. They don't realize that these rosters are like, limitations between 23 to 24. And if you have injuries that happen in the game and you're a wide receiver, you got to be ready to play DB.
Ready. You
And
better be
also,
ready.
you can also be a guy who not DB, and you go play DB and you show out in DB, and you get caught by a scout. Like, hey, he actually plays better as DB than a receiver. You don't know.
Oh,
There's
yeah.
opportunities.
It happens all the time.
Yeah, it does happen all the time, and I've noticed players that play both sides. I've seen last year, I think it was in Wheeling that happened. They had a guy play both sides. I seen it in Jacksonville last year. They had a guy play both sides, and he actually played better on the other side of the ball than the actual side he was on when he first started. But it's like, even though we had Brian chime in, bring back arena football, Iron Man, uh, that's
It's
a
a
lot.
it's that they're not ready, and I'm not knocking the younger kids. The reason I say they're not ready for it is because now in college you specialize so much that you don't have the time to even think about playing another position. So it's so many people on the field. When I played, again, some guys played receiver and DB in high school. but most of the time they focus on one side of the ball, and plus the practice time. My last couple of years in college, when they changed the rules, you only practice 20 hours a week. When I was in college, we practiced 40, 50 hours a week. We had a full-time job. It wasn't getting paid like they get paid nowadays. So that's the biggest thing. It's not a knock on the kids. It's just they never had the time to really learn it both ways like that.
One thing I noticed about the sport over the years, you can even see in the NFL, like even training camps now, like 2 days outlawed, and you can't have you can't have 5 straight days of practice and training camp in the NFL anymore. You got to have a day off in there.
It's crazy.
And I just remember listening to stories of like not old players, but players from the 2000s and 20 and like that era, like the old era. And they're like,
I played in the 90s, man. What are you saying?
The older era, man. Like
it's all good. It's
like 20 years ago, the NFL and college football, they were doing 2-a-days, 5 days in a row, even high school football.
Yeah.
Now you can't do that. You get fined if you're in the you're in the NFL It's strange how the rules are changing, but they're doing it because the sport itself has become very violent.
So I'm gonna tell you a training camp story from my rookie year with Miami Dolphins. I don't know if you remember the safety, Louis Oliver, played at Florida. He's about 6'3", about 265. No, take that back, not 265, 235, 240, right? So we're in minicamp. I'm running the dig route, and I'm saying to myself, well, I'm assuming they're not hitting us, right? So I run across the middle, I catch the ball, and he lays me out. I look around, nobody says nothing. So I said, okay, I guess that's how it's gonna be. I jump back up and go back to the huddle. That's welcome to the NFL 1992 style. Now, these teams are getting fined if you practice too hard. I'm like, what? Are you serious? But that's the rules. So that's why, like I said, you got to be fundamentally sound. You have to be tough. You have to be smart. Again, we're gonna be physical, but we're gonna be smart about it. But we're not gonna just go through the motions. We're gonna be. The O-line, D-line, and running backs, they're going to touch each other every day.
The one thing is I enjoy about like CBS and Fox, the NFL Sundays before the games, and you have, the Teddy Bradshaws, and then you got the younger guys and
that was old guys,
Gronkowski, and then you get Boomer Esiason, and they talk about practice, and they said that this young generation can't handle what we went through. You get punished to get water. Now it's like you're getting hydrated like crazy. And I'm like, how the game has evolved over those 3 decades.
And the thing is, they're so athletic. If they practice like we did, they probably wouldn't have a team. Just being honest, that's the reality. These kids are bigger, faster, stronger. It's just and the reason a lot of kids don't make it to that level, in my opinion. Again, I trained some guys. I've seen it 1,000,001 times. Is their football IQ is at zero. They don't understand the game. By the time they figure out that football IQ matches their body, they're 29, 30 years old, ready to be done. And that's why, so that's why we do that. Yeah.
Kish Voss, one question I have is how much do you think NFL and D1 experience matters in the indoor game?
Not much at all. We've had guys come from, I mean, when I was playing, I'm just saying we had NFL guys come to camp and they had to leave. No, it's too much for me. Just running and all this. I'm talking about receivers. D line, they love it now. D line, that might help a little bit because you've learned more. You have more tools in your belt. That might help. So
back in the Ironman era, linemen didn't like it because they had to go on kickoff.
Oh, they hated it. Because you couldn't come out the field.
Yeah, they're like, I gotta run that field.
I remember, and this is how we made our money. I remember some of my lineman buddies said, look, Blackshear, if you take out this guy for me, I'll give you $50. Because they didn't want to go and run to that guy. They knew if I took myself out of the play, I eliminate 2 guys. Because the one guy's supposed to block me, we already knew who's blocking who. That's again, the game is 8 people out there. You figure it out which return it is. So I would run at the guy that's not blocking me, and that pulls 2 guys. And so that big man can just kind of stand there and just get his arms in the air and just hope somebody runs around. It's crazy.
Yeah, I just like back in the Ironman days, I'm like, man, these guys just blocked their butts off for a whole entire drive, and now you got them running on kickoff, then going back out there for defense.
So the first game I played was against Tampa, and I returned the kickoff for a touchdown. I missed field goal. And when I say I'm dancing, because I had played football in 5 years, and I forgot I had to run down the kickoff. I'm out there just doing the cabbage patch, all that. And they like, hey, what are you doing? You got to go run kickoff. Oh, I thought it was OC. No, you got to go. Well, I tried it on back out there. I said, okay, I see I got to turn this, turn it down a little bit. I can't celebrate like I thought I was supposed to. So
That's a rookie moment.
Oh yeah. That's it. You live and learn.
But your career, you've been in the indoor game for a couple.
30 years, 32 years.
I was gonna say around roughly like that, but you just got at me the old. I didn't want to put the number there, so I'm just
I'm okay. I'm okay, but see, I'm okay with that because I'm probably in better shape than a lot of my players going to be when they get to camp. They better be in shape. It's going to get ugly.
That's the thing. You don't want the coach to be better shape than your starting quarterback and other players. But speaking about your players and speaking about what's ahead for the Dallas Bulls for the 2026 season, this schedule is out as we release on NAL this couple of weeks ago. Starting off with it's a bye in the league play, but it looks like there will be a non-league opponent to kick off the season on March 7th. Then you start off with basically the Battle of Colorado back-to-back games. What the schedule? We were trying to get someone on from Dallas during the show, but it was such a short notice for the representatives of Dallas for the release show. But what stands out in this schedule for you, Coach? What are the games that you think are marquee matchups, not just for Dallas, but for you as a coach? What are you looking forward to? Is there any type of friendly banter going on between organizations that could be intriguing matchups for the fans to watch?
Well, I have a natural rivalry with Amarillo because of our time in AF2. You know, how you were talking about the battle of I-4. In my 2 years at Lubbock, I won the battle of I-27. I won 4 and lost 2. So they still have my trophy, by the way. They haven't given it back. It's okay. And then obviously with the Louisiana team being right down the road in Streetport, and we playing each other 3 times, I think that'll be a pretty good battle. So I think it's going to be fun. I mean, I know Coach O'Neal at the Omaha Beef, great coach. I always like matching minds with him. You know, Coach Solo, you know, Solomon as well. Guys that I helped coach here in Dallas with the Texas Rails. He's a Hall of Fame player. Got inducted last year. Just won a championship with Beaumont. So, man, it's going to be fun. I mean, it's like when I got in and I actually really started paying attention, I said, I know all these guys, which is a good thing. You know, it helps that I hadn't been coaching in a while because they don't know exactly what I'm doing. But they'll pick out real quick. Again, the game is all the same. But I just look forward to being part of it again, being part of this brotherhood. Like you said, we all know each other. You know, I'm one of those fun coaches. I interact with the crowd all the time. That's just, again, I appreciate what the Arena Football League and the indoor game did for me as a player, and obviously as a coach, I try to give that back. You know, you got to make it an entertainment product for the fans. You know, me and Dr. Nelson talk about it all the time. He said we're going to have an amazing event, and then a football game is going to break out, and that's how we're going to do it. We're going to have fun. You know, we're including the city of Dallas and a lot of the things that we're doing. You know, getting the high schools, Dallas ISD involved. You know, South Dallas, and somewhere as well as Fort Worth. You know, because again, the Bulls have a blueprint already in Fort Worth, and you know some of those guys, fans I'm talking about, they want to follow their team, and you know we changed colors, but we're still the same, you know, same heart that they won the championship differently. So it's gonna be a new team, and we just gotta, you know, hold up that legacy. You know, we were talking Saturday about, you know, the evolution of a program. They started as a semi-pro team, and they built itself into something that's, you know, won one championship already, and I was brought on to hopefully try to find a way to add to that trophy case.
Well, speaking about trophy cases, and there's another question that will pop up time and time again on social media platform. Where are the Dallas Bulls playing, and are tickets available to purchase for the 2026 season?
We'll be playing at Fair Park Arena. That's at the Cotton Bowl area. It's not in the Cotton Bowl, but it's, you know, what the State Fair is. It's in that area. And tickets, I think, are on sale. You know, again, the good thing or bad thing, I should say, getting hired so late, I haven't thought about the ticket sales yet. I'm just trying to find players, and you know, my phone's blowing up and trying to get these sponsorships and these partnerships going. So yeah, check the website. I think they're up. If they're not, they will be soon. And like I said, we're going to have some good tickets packages for you guys. I've already had some conversations about that. And you know, like I said, the natural rivalry with Streetport, you know, they're going to travel to us. I'm hoping that we create a fan base that's willing to travel with us as well. Looking forward to it.
And of course, I put for the fans out there QR code goes
Mm-hmm.
directly towards the website, so you
Yeah,
get
there
more
you go. Yeah,
information.
click on that, y'all. All you young folks that know how to use those things, click on that thing and buy tickets, man. We're gonna have a great time.
You
Great
just
time.
point the camera at it, and your phone, depending on what version of the phone you have, it tells you what it is. My phone really doesn't. It doesn't help it at all. Um,
Wow.
but was where it is. We already did the tryouts. That's coming up again for the people who just joined. Tryouts October 25th, 2025. Bring shorts, pants, no cleats. Yeah, a lot of players
Yes,
realize.
it's a soccer field. Yes, please don't bring
Yes.
cleats. You'll be slipping and sliding. Basically, it's basketball shoes. It's football on turf. You know, that's what we played in when I played. Most of the arenas have that same type surface, and so that's why we want to have the tryouts in that type of place to make sure that if you hadn't played this game before, you get a good introduction to it on the 25th of October.
25th. Coach, really appreciate it. Oh, forgot before we actually any community events coming forward, because I know there's a big event happening this weekend in the state fair.
Yeah, I'm
There's some
actually
small
going to.
game called Texas versus Oklahoma, but
Yeah,
I know that.
that's a JV game now.
But
The
is there
varsity
any
Saturday night
community
in
event
Lubbock,
for the
Texas, we're celebrating the 100-year anniversary of Red Raider football. They're introducing all the old lettermen that's going to be there. It's going to be an amazing time.
any community events for the Bulls in the upcoming weeks for the
Yeah,
fans to
we
get
have an
interactive with?
event tomorrow. I got to look at my email because I just was informed about an event. Let me look at it. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm not looking at the camera. We have the State Fair Community Engagement event is tomorrow. So I will be there. State Fair and community event. We will be talking about the players that we've signed. We'll be talking about ticket packages. We'll be talking about sponsorship packages. We'll be talking about our relationships that we're building within the South Dallas community and all the great things that we're going to do, not only on the field, but off the field. You need to come out and support.
And also, merch, nalshop.com for all the Dallas Bulls merch. And I guarantee you, go to the community event. You'll get some Dallas Bulls merch while you're there as well. Meet the coaches and some of the organization people behind the scenes, and go check out the arena where they're going to play for the 2026 season. Coach, I know this is a little different. Where can fans follow you on social media, and where can they visit
I've
for
done
more
this before.
information about them? Oh, you've done
So
this before.
on, I got a few followers. You know, come on, man. Okay. So on Facebook is my full name, Rodney Blackshear. On Instagram is Black3, spelled BLAQUE3. That's my Instagram, and then on Twitter is RBlackshear3. Follow me. I always post inspirational things, bullish thoughts. Now, since I've become the head coach, it's just things that make you think, things that motivate you, things that make you a better person. And like I said, we're excited, getting ready to make this thing happen.
Well, Coach, I really appreciate you joining tonight. Hopefully, you get everything. It's October. I know you're going to go up to Lubbock, so safe travels up to Lubbock.
That's a recruiting trip. I'm gonna give me some Red Raiders that ain't getting the NL money. Come on, see me. Come on to Dallas. Come on back home.
Be safe on your journey to Lubbock. Good luck on the off season, because I know the off season is very busy for organizations, for ticket sales, the memberships, the rosters. You're basically doing 90,000 things for one person. So safe journey to Lubbock. Hopefully you have fun. Being a part of a university like that, it being recognized is something that you should be proud of. So appreciate you coming on to represent the Dallas Bulls and telling the fans what's going on in Dallas.
Yeah, appreciate you guys. Again, come on out tomorrow to the community event, but more importantly, buy tickets, come see us play. We're going to have a great time, and we're going to win some games.
With that, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be back after this and wrapping up the show. That's Coach Blackshear. I'm Jimmy Ray. We'll be back after this. Remember, NALshop.com is where you get all your gear for National Arena League. All 9 teams. National NALshop.com. Coach, again, great journey. Appreciate you joining me on this episode. It's Dallas, but I could I'm not gonna. Yeah, we're gonna keep it NAL Pacific, because I could go on another topic just talking about NFL and college right now. But
like I said, I'm not a Cowboys fan. I'm a Dallas resident.
I'm not going to mention the Cowboys.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
with that, ladies, thank you for the fans who tuned in, who sent the
Appreciate you
questions
guys.
in.
Appreciate your support.
Appreciate it. Remember, follow everything Dallas Bulls, DallasBulls.com, gear at NALshop.com. Go check out the NALshop.com right now. There's new stuff popping up. Some of the stuff that you fans have been asking for might be on there. So go check it out, NALshop.com. That's Coach. I am Jim. Be well, be safe. We'll see you guys next week.
Horns up.